Usually I do the countdown timer, but I forgot. I'll just wait till 7. So there, it's 7 o'clock. All right. Welcome everyone to the Sunday night live stream. One thing I do want to mention is keep it if you're interested. Before we get going here, if you're interested, I am looking for I've got some new projects that I'm working on, and I'm going to be looking for basically a 1 or maybe 2 research assistants. Now actually this would be the best way. Let me do this. Follow me if you're interested. Give me a follow on X. Just T Bohen. Remember, I am T Bohen everywhere. Okay. Anything with an underscore or a dash or any of that stuff, not me. Okay. Look for the verified link. Okay. It still kind of blows me away. People don't look for the blue check mark, but also I'm just T Bohen. Okay. People have fell for scammers with my last name spelled differently. Okay. But anyway, keep that in mind. If you're interested in that type of job, I'll be posting basically a job posting probably tomorrow. I got kind of a busy night, but anyway, I just wanted to mention that if you're interested. Now here's the deal. Understand, and I'll put this on the posting if you're interested. Keep in mind 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day. Okay. Like this is not like, if you're interested in that position, do not apply unless you're willing to work at my rate and my speed, which means 16 hours a day. Okay. 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. So just wanted to throw that out there. I'll make sure to put that on the posting. But if you're not a savage, if you're not a grinder, if you're not just as insane as I am, do not apply. Okay. So that being said, I just wanted to throw that out there. I did forget to run the counter. Markets up big last week. S&P 500 up 2.4%, Dow 1.3%, and NASDAQ up 3.9%, which, we primarily look for, most of the stocks we trade are NASDAQ stocks. Now we do track the S&P 500, futures basically flat, by the way, right now. But when it comes to tracking the overall market, I like to use the S&P 500 over the Dow because the S&P 500 is 500 stocks and Dow is only 30 stocks. Now the NASDAQ is, the majority of the stocks we day trade and swing trade. So always nice to see the NASDAQ up big. All indexes hitting new highs. It's the golden age. I predicted this going back to the election last year. It is kind of funny. I talked about the golden age of the U.S. economy and the stock market from 2016 to 2020. Then the golden age went away for 4 years and it came back last November. And it was always funny, kind of all the haters. Oh, market's going to crash, blah, blah, blah. Tariffs are going to ruin the market. Meanwhile, we're bringing in records amount of revenue from tariffs. Every single country is bending the knee. We go back to, the very first Sunday night live stream. I went on this insane rant about how tariffs were amazing and amazing for the markets. The very first Sunday night live stream was back right around Liberation Day. Everybody was talking panic. I was saying, giddy up. I was like, giddy up, get ready. And sure enough, all-time highs yet again last week. Once we get post-summer into the busiest time of year, fall and winter, going to go absolutely parabolic. Rate cuts are basically guaranteed come September. That's going to add some fuel. So again, if you weren't excited last November, you were one of the haters, the doubters, the losers. Like, if you aren't convinced now, and then we go into fall and rate cuts and everything else, like I can't think in 20 years of trading, there's never been the stars aligned for just an epic bull run like they are. And I've been saying that going back, almost a year now to the election. I said, basically, if the right person wins, we're going to go parabolic. If the wrong person wins, time to, basically get ready to move into the bomb shelter now, or into your survival shelter. But fortunately, it didn't go that way. And indexes just continue to break out, and then all the other things. Now, keep in mind the other thing. Apple, another rant back in the early days of the Sunday night live stream was the onshoring rant. Does anyone remember that one? I went on about my hatred of the idea of offshoring. It was the dumbest thing, biggest mistake possibly I would go so far. I mean, listen, America is still the greatest country in the world, but we've made a lot of dumb mistakes, okay? A lot of them. I would debate that the worst, kind of overall decision was to offshore manufacturing, possibly in the history of the United States. And again, I'm very patriotic, unabashedly, unapologetically patriotic, greatest country in the history of the world. History began on July 4th, 1776. Everything before that was a mistake. But the biggest mistake we made was offshoring everything. And and it's kind of funny, on Cheddar, that Cheddar interview back in April, they were like and I really like the host, JD. He's a really nice guy. You can Google Tim Bohen Cheddar. It was the one back in April. He's like, well, it's not like they can make an iPhone in the US, Tim. And again, I love the guy. He's great. Actually, he asked me to start a podcast. The host from Cheddar. I don't know. Maybe we will. We'll see. But anyway, his point was, you can't make an iPhone in America, Tim. Yeah, right. You just don't want to, Tim Cook. Tim Cook just didn't want to make an iPhone in America. So he tries moving it to India. We tariff the hell out of India. Now it's all coming back. The plan, in the wise words of Hannibal, Hannibal from the A-Team, I love it when a plan comes together. And we're going to have so much, so many of these great paying jobs, boosting the economy. Again, this is just kind of a repeat from the early days of the Sunday night live stream. But the reason I bring it up is people said you couldn't make an iPhone in the US. Who's doing it right now? Tim Cook, because he bent the knee and is bringing it back home. And in the wise words of Hannibal, I love it when a plan comes together. That being said, look at Apple's stock. I mean, this is just such again, Apple's up 13% on the week. And if you read the mainstream media, they're like, oh, Apple can't bring the manufacturing back because it will hurt their earnings. I know we got a lot of beginners here, but does everyone understand the idea of what you're doing when you buy a stock? Okay. Does everyone know, now this is investing. I know we are primarily focused on day trading and swing trading, but when you invest in a stock, you're buying something to hold for years, what are you doing? What are you doing? Actually, I'll wait for an answer. I'm a little thirsty anyway. Oh, no. But notice, while I wait for an answer, notice I'm out. But remember, my friends, part of being prepared is 1 is none and 2 is 1. Always have a backup. So a lot of you are close. You're saying you're buying a piece of the company. So the term is you are buying So the term is you're buying the company discounted to future earnings. So you're buying the stock today, and then you will share, if the company stays profitable, grows, etc., then you are buying discounted to future earnings. Now, I'm making a point here. Apple's up 13% this week. That is people saying that bringing manufacturing home is going to increase Apple's earnings over time. So the risk, okay, and this is, listen, Apple up 13%. This isn't like a bunch of ham and eggers buying one share of Apple, okay? Like you guys all understand that, right? I mean, you got a company like Apple with like a $3 to $4 trillion market cap. It's not a bunch of ham and eggers buying 1 or 2 or 3 shares of Apple that move it 13% in a week. That is big money, okay? You can't move a $3-4 trillion market cap company with a bunch of retail traders with Robinhood accounts buying 5 shares. Now, no offense to any of you. Listen, I'm here to help. You guys are my people, okay? I love helping new traders and people with small accounts, but it's not Robinhood and 5 shares at a time moving a $3 to $4 trillion market cap 13% in a week. That is hedge funds, that is pensions, that is wealthy individuals. It's probably sovereign wealth. Like it's probably Saudis and sovereign wealth funds, because that's what it takes to move Apple 13% in a week. So just pointing out that is back to the whole Hannibal plan coming together. That's real money saying, good job, Apple, bringing manufacturing back to the United States. Okay. So that being said, let's move on. Underlying strength, trader sentiment remains strong. We've had a very positive earnings season. We got Fed rate cuts are like almost basically guaranteed come September, and then very solid earnings. So FYI, guys, I often reference eWhispers. Okay. Highly recommend following eWhispers. We're in the heat of earnings season. So, and I always compliment eWhispers because they give amazing information. There's no BS. And it's basically everything you really need is free. Like I like to share free stuff with you guys, like the watch list, etc. But if you're going to follow anybody on Twitter, follow eWhispers because and I just love what they do. Actually, let me show you here. Share screen. I just really like the way they lay it out. They give you morning and evening, and then each day laid out. Okay, so we've got, it's just, and I don't know, I kind of like the company logos, etc. And it's just very handy. So now you can bring this up and both morning and evening, the big names that typically move. Now it doesn't guarantee anything, obviously, but a lot of you guys know a lot of these names. So like Monday, funny enough, MNDY. So like when it comes to the big names I'm watching this week to trade, MNDY, Monday is the company name, also releasing tomorrow morning. Barrick Gold, then you get into Monday night, BBAI, Big Bear, Oklo. Who knows how much I love Oklo? Meanwhile, by the way, I recommended Oklo as a hold forever at $8 a share, by the way. And I ain't selling. Okay. Oklo is just like Tesla to me. Okay. Bought it at 8. I'll sell when I'll let my grandkids sell Oklo. AMC day tradable. Okay. AMC day tradable. ASTS, love that stock. Archer. Archer would be more of a day trade type idea. MVST, Plug Power. We're live. Tuesday, Circle, CRCL. Okay. Remember, that was that crazy hot IPO. CRCL Tuesday morning, dropping earnings. First time post IPO for the earnings announcement. Should be get a lot of volatility on CRCL. Pony, PONY. That's about it in the morning. Afternoon, CoreWeave, CRWV, RGTI. Ooh, who remembers RGTI? Kava, Reker, REKR. That's about it. Wednesday morning, kind of boring Wednesday morning. Wednesday night, Red Robin. That's always a play. Thursday morning, kind of a lot of boring, slower movers. Friday afternoon, NU, AMAT, TMC, one to watch. I was on Thursday. Sorry, I jumped ahead. So that was Thursday, but you guys can see it's Thursday. And then Friday, kind of quiet. But FYI, those are kind of the main ideas. I'm pretty happy with my ticker recognition. You know, a lot of the times when people ask, how do you remember all this stuff? Like, I could just see the company name and know the ticker. But that is just, listen, seat time, okay? A lot of people ask, like, seat time. How do you recognize all this stuff? How do you remember the chart? How do you remember all this stuff? A lot of it is just, again, I kind of talked about this earlier. I'm at this station 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day. Like, I am obsessed with trading my own money, with helping others, with developing trading tools. It's all I do. Like, I know there's a lot of people in this game that show up every now and then. They'll post a YouTube video, but they're always doing other stuff. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, and that's kind of the standard. Because listen, they're living off the YouTube money. You know, they're living off the YouTube money. This is what I actually do. Okay. I'm not traveling all the time. I'm not posting about all this other stuff. Like, this is all I do. I'm obsessed. Okay. And the point I'm making is that if you want to get to the point where you can instantly recognize tickers of past moves, former runners, market caps, tickers, you know, all this stuff, it really comes down to just being engaged in the market as much as you can. Now, you might say, well, Tim, I'm a part-time trader. How do I do that? I was a part-time trader for 7 or 8 years. 7 to 8 years, I was part-time. But I still got up at 5 in the morning. Now I get up at 4 because I'm even crazier now, and I'm more obsessed now. But back then, I had little kids. I had little kids when I got started. I got up at 5 a.m. so that I could do my due diligence and build my watch list and build my trade plans and set my order types, etc. You need counseling 100%. Let me do this. Whoops, no, not that one. I want to show that one. Raymond, can I give like a gold star? What's this do? What does the gold star do? Raymond, I clicked the gold star. I don't even know what it does, but I clicked it. Did something happen when I clicked the gold star on Raymond's comment? I don't know. So on my dashboard, I got a little gold star. Anyway, Raymond, I gave you a gold star. Hopefully it like did something cool, like played an animation or something. But you're right. I need counseling. I'm insane. But what I think, listen, everyone has their addictions. Most people are addicted to social media or booze or cigarettes or porn or weed. Okay. Like, I don't drink. I don't smoke. I am addicted to nicotine. We all talk about that. I don't smoke weed. I don't watch porn. I don't drink. I don't watch TV. I don't watch sports. Like a lot of people are addicted to a lot of things. The one thing I'm addicted to is the stock market. It's all I'm obsessed with. It's all I do. So anyway, I am way over on time, and I didn't realize that it's almost 7:30. Little bit random tonight. I apologize for the randomness, but it's live. You get what you get when it's live. You know, you get what you get. As my mama always said, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. It's live. Got a little ranty tonight. You never know. You never know when the ranting's going to come out. But I got to run. A lot of you are asking how to trade earnings winners. Okay. How do you trade them? Well, the reason I am in a rush is, and I invited you guys last week and almost no one showed up to the RCT webinar. Like 5 people showed up to the RCT webinar. But if you want to know how to trade earnings winners, by far and above, the best way to do it is using my swing trade AI called Iris. It analyzes the earnings for you. It analyzes the chart for you. It does all the work for you. Okay. So I got to run. That webinar is at 8 p.m. I just posted the link. There's, as always, probably 5 people will show up, but I'll be there. It'll be live. It's a tour of Iris, the history of Iris. We just upgraded it, what it does, how it uses real-time data and true AI. Okay. Remember, I'm a technology guy. I started an internet company in 1994, 2 years out of high school. It's actually AI. A lot of this stuff you guys see out there, it's just algos. It's not even AI, or it's at best. A lot of this stuff for trading you see out there is like, it's probably just a call center in India, like typing stuff in, okay? Iris is real AI, and it's for swing trading, and when it truly shines is in the heat of earnings season. So if you're curious about it, click it, check it out. But as always, most people are going to watch porn, smoke weed, drink some beer, and watch the football game. I mean, there's probably a football game on. But the simple fact is, in this world, 99% of people don't succeed because they aren't laser focused. They aren't obsessed. They don't work as hard as they can. Remember, anyone can be disciplined and work hard. Anyone can do that. 99% of people choose not to because it's really hard. But hey, I got to where I am in life with my business, with trading. You know, I had a very successful business at 20 years old because I was obsessed with the internet and technology back then. And I worked 100 hours a week back then. And I'm 51 years old and I'm still working 100 hours a week. And I plan on working 100 hours a week until I die. And that, I think, is what separates me from everyone else in this industry who is predominantly lazy, shows up every now and then, too busy posting their social media to actually help people. But that's the industry norm. Have a great night, everyone. If you're interested in Iris, I'll see you at 8 p.m. And hopefully I don't lose my voice after this rant. Have a great night, my friends. Oh, the link? Yeah, let me do this. Actually, can I put a link? I'll put that on. Let me do this. Oh, look at that. I forgot about that. So, all right, guys, I'll leave that link up. It's also in the chat. And it's all, you got to type it in, but it's on screen. You can type it in or screenshot it. I don't know, but I got to run.